Hi, I'm Aaron Heiser, Maker's Leather Supply. This video we're going to learn how to properly thread the Cobra Class 26 sewing machine. We're going to wind a bobbin. We're going to place the bobbin in the shuttle assembly down there, and then we're going to thread the machine. Get a lot of questions about this machine because there's not much literature out there about it. So we're just going to go over some basics of just threading the machine and getting it ready to use. So we're going to start with the winding of the bobbin. I'm going to adjust the camera here so we can see, and I'm going to move the machine around so that the bobbin winder is where you can see it. All right. So this is the bobbin winder mechanism right here. Get this other stuff out of the way. It's just a big old distraction. This is the bobbin winder mechanism right here. Okay, we're going to grab a fresh bobbin here out of the accessory packet. All right. So what we are going to do is we have a thread here. It's going to come off of its spool up through one of the holes on the thread stand up there, and then it's going to go down here to the bobbin winder itself. All right, right on the top of the bobbin winder, right here is a little guide hole that it needs to go through. There, I'll highlight it with my finger there. It's going to go through that little hole, and then it's going to go around the back side of these two tension discs. Try and do this with one hand so I can hold this camera at this angle with the other. That's not going to work, but that's all right. I'll get it. So it's going to go around the back side of these tension discs here, and then you just kind of pull on it and get it down in between the tension discs. Okay? From there, you're going to, or what I do at least, is I go ahead and put it from the inside to the outside through one of the holes in the bobbin. Some of the older bobbins are solid, and then they just have one hole on them, so you don't really have a choice. That's the hole. And then you put the bobbin on the spindle right there. Okay? So once you've got that done, I'm going to walk over to the other side of the machine so I can get to the treadle pedal here. Once you've got that done, you want to engage the bobbin winder by pushing on that little tab right there. That pushes the wheel up against the belt. You have to make sure that you don't have a thread in your needle while you do this. All right, and then you just make it go. You got to hold on to this thread for a little while. Once you've got a few rows of it built up, you can let go of this thread. It's actually going to twist itself until it pretty much just sits there. You do want to make sure it doesn't get captured back into the thread that's winding onto it. All right. Now, when this bobbin is done winding, it is going to, it'll kick itself off, and it'll be ready to use then. And it'll actually sit there on its own. It's not going to unwind itself or anything like that if you just leave it sitting there. But it'll sit there until it's ready for use. I tell most people when they're gonna buy a different color of thread or something, if it's something they're gonna use a lot of, then they should buy two of them. That way they can always be winding a bobbin while they are sewing. So we're gonna come back over here now. Machine back over here where we can see. Okay. Here is the bobbin housing down here. All right, and what you have here is there's your bobbin. The shuttle hook actually revolves around it on this machine. And then to take the old bobbin out, you lift up that little piece right there. It just flipped up. You lift that out. Now, I've seen Al Bain reach in there and just snatch that old bobbin right out. I mean, he can do it and I can't. But I take my little scissors here. I'm going to grab two of those holes and I pull it up just like that. Almost as quickly as he can do it, but not quite. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that bobbin out, and we're going to drop our new bobbin in it to show you how to do it. Now, when you do this, the thread should be coming off of the bobbin clockwise. Okay, so it should be coming off on the right side. Let me turn this overhead load off. There we go. The thread should be coming off of the top of the bobbin as you lay it in there, just like that. Okay, now I'm actually going to turn that light back on. I think it'll help to see what we're doing. There's a little space right there in that black metal. You want the thread to go down underneath it. Okay, you need to keep your finger on the bobbin, otherwise it's just going to spin freely. All right, you pull your thread around, and then it's going to come up into that little opening right there. Once it does, you close that little holder back onto it, and then you just let that set there for a minute. Now we're going to thread the rest of the machine, and then we'll be ready to go. So we'll get the machine closer to the camera here so we can do some threading. And try to stay out of the way as much as possible, but yet I need that camera in there to where you can see. All right, so we're going to start up here. Once again, I'm going to take the same thread because I only have one spool of white sitting here. And I just feed it through on this post up here. I just feed it through once. Some people wrap it all around, do all kinds of craziness. That's going to increase your top tension. Everywhere that you wrap it around there, it's going to increase it just a little bit. And so I don't want my top tension to be adjusted from, or, to be changed by any of that up there. So I just run it through once as kind of a guide to go from the thread stand up here down to that. All right, so from there, we go down to the front of the machine here. Get this light up. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down into this little hole from the back to the front. All right. From there, we're going to push it in between these two little tension discs right here. Push it down in between the discs. Come across, and then you're going to go to these tension discs. You want to pull it down into the tension discs, wrap it all the way around it until you get back out to the same side there. Okay, and then there's this little pin that's actually kind of hard for you to see. Let's see if I can get you in there. There's a little pin right above my fingernail there. Okay, and what you have to do is wrap it up and around that pin, like that. All right. So once you have that, you're going to go down and just run in between these two metal discs right here. And you're going to come over, you'll hold it up like this, and you've got this little spring right here. You see it wiggling against the thread? You want to pull up until it actually snaps into position, just like that. And when you let it down, the thread is now, the thread is now above that little silver pin right inside that window. Okay, so now we've got all our tension stuff done, and now I'm just going to guide it up through the guides here. I'm going to turn you to the side so we can actually see past this safety bracket thing that I hate that's in the way. So anyway, you're just going to run it through the guides, the thread guides. We'll go up to the take-up arm. And it's going to go right to left through the take-up arm. All right. It's going to go back down into that first thread guide, second thread guide, into the oiling felt there. Make sure I'm still on camera. Okay, I need to tilt down. For a second here, I'm going to bring it down some so I can get down into the needle area. Okay, so once we're down in the needle area, it's going to go through this little guide hole right up here at the base of the needle, front to back, and then it's going to go through the needle from the left side, your left side, to the right side. Once you have that complete, go ahead, give your hand wheel one full rotation. And what's going to happen is it's going to grab that bottom thread and pull it up for you. So there it is. Now you're ready to sew. For sewing videos, I highly recommend some of Albane's instructional videos. He definitely can teach it better than I can, but I just wanted to show folks a plain and simple way to thread the Class 26 machine. So hope you'll have a good night, and thank you very much for watching.